This is not a video. It's a transmission.
And it was never meant to be public.
Some knowledge isn't written down.
It's whispered, passed hand to hand, voice to voice.
Filtered, protected, until now.
What you're about to hear was only ever shared orally, behind closed doors, in rooms without cameras, between people who understood the weight of it.
And by the end of this transmission, you'll understand why it was never meant for everyone. Stay with me, because this might change the way you see everything. The most powerful knowledge in the world isn't hidden. It's guarded. There's a difference.
Hidden knowledge is buried.
Guarded knowledge is protected. Why? Because it's dangerous in the wrong hands and transformative in the right ones. For most of human history, wisdom wasn't stored in cloud servers. It was stored in people, elders, mentors, masters. Knowledge had to be earned. You didn't Google it. You grew into it. And here is where it gets interesting. When knowledge is transmitted orally, it carries more than information. It carries intention, tone, energy, timing. It's not just what is said, it's how. And that changes everything. We live in the age of infinite information. You can learn astrophysics on YouTube. You can study psychology on TikTok. You can download entire libraries in seconds. But you still feel stuck. Why? Because information is not transformation. You don't need more facts. You need alignment. A transmission isn't about adding more to your brain. It's about activating something inside you. Have you ever heard someone speak and felt it in your chest? Like something clicked? Like they weren't just talking, they were unlocking something? That's transmission, and it only works when you're ready to receive. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The knowledge you're looking for was never locked away. You just weren't tuned to the right frequency. Imagine a radio station broadcasting 24/7. If your dial is off by even a fraction, you hear static. The signal is there. You just can't receive it. That's how guarded knowledge works. It's always present, but only visible to those who have developed the internal capacity to hold it. This is why mentors don't give you everything at once. This is why certain conversations only happen after trust is built. Because knowledge without foundation collapses the person receiving it. And that collapse isn't metaphorical. It's psychological. Let me slow this down. When something is written, it becomes permanent. When something is spoken, it becomes alive. Oral knowledge forces presence. You can't skim it. You can't scroll past it. You have to sit with it. And that's the point. The power isn't in the words alone. It's in the pause. It's in the silence between sentences. In ancient traditions, students would sit for years before hearing a single teaching. Not because the master was cruel, but because the student needed to become the kind of person who could hear it correctly. Written knowledge can be copied. Oral knowledge has to be embodied. And embodiment is rare. Here's where this becomes personal. Guarded knowledge always comes with a cost. Not money. Responsibility. When you see clearly, you can't pretend you don't.
When you understand deeply, you can't go back to surface-level thinking.
Clarity removes excuses.
And most people don't actually want clarity. They want comfort.
If you truly receive this transmission, something inside you will shift.
You'll notice patterns you used to ignore.
You'll see manipulation where you once saw coincidence. You'll recognize your own potential, and that can be terrifying.
Because now it's on you. And that's why this was never shared publicly.
Mass audiences want entertainment.
Transmission demands accountability.
You think because everything is online, you have access.
But access isn't exposure.
Exposure is seeing the door.
Access is being invited inside. There are conversations happening right now in small rooms, digital and physical, that will shape the next decade.
Not because they're louder,
but because they're deeper.
The people in those rooms aren't chasing attention.
They're cultivating precision. And precision beats popularity every time.
The world doesn't change because something trends. It changes because someone integrates a truth so deeply that their actions shift.
And actions ripple.
This is the part nobody says out loud.
If you want access to guarded knowledge, you don't chase it. You become the kind of person it gravitates toward.
Depth over noise. Attention over distraction. Curiosity over certainty.
Most people scroll for stimulation.
Very few sit in silence long enough to notice what's emerging. Transmission requires stillness. If your mind is constantly reacting, it cannot receive.
If your ego is constantly defending, it cannot integrate. The frequency of guarded knowledge is subtle.
You don't hear it through urgency.
You hear it through awareness.
And awareness is trained.
Let's close the loop.
Why was this only ever shared orally?
Because when knowledge moves through voice, it moves through relationship. And relationship creates responsibility.
If I hand you information, you can misuse it anonymously. If I transmit something to you directly, you feel the weight of it. That weight is intentional.
Knowledge without ethics is chaos. Knowledge with responsibility is power.
And the real transmission isn't the content, it's the reminder.
You are not lacking information.
You are lacking integration. Once you integrate, you don't need permission. You become the source.
You just received something that was never meant to be content. It was meant to be carried. The real question isn't whether you understood it, it's what you're going to do with it.
If this shifted something in you, there's another transmission waiting, and it goes even deeper. Subscribe, stay close, and I'll see you in the next one.